Joshua Abraham Norton was born in the late 1810s, although the exact year is unknown. The only surviving records of his birth and age are from his landlady at the time of his death. He was born in London to a Jewish family, and at the age of 2, his family immigrated to Algoa Bay, South Africa. His family was middle class, and his father ran a business selling various supplies to sailors. In his 20s, Joshua attempted to start his own business, but was unsuccessful and shortly had to file for bankruptcy. By 1849, Joshua's entire family had died of unknown causes. Joshua had been left $40,000, which is the equivalent of more than $1 million in today's currency, by his father. Determined to get richer, Joshua left for California to work as a merchant for gold miners. He accumulated over $250,000 in under 4 years. Despite this, he lived in a cheap hotel room for just 50 cents a day. In 1853, Norton made his fateful business error when he attempted to corner the rice market. At that time, China was experiencing a famine, and all exports on rice were banned. As the price of rice began to rise, Norton purchased 200,000 pounds of rice from a Peruvian cargo ship. However, just before selling it, 2 more shipments of rice arrived from Peru, causing the market to crash. Over the next 4 years, Norton lost the remainder of his fortune in an unsuccessful legal battle with the merchant who sold him the rice, arguing the merchant had withheld information. During his struggle with the courts, Norton withdrew himself from civilization. In 1857, Norton re-entered society, although he was showing severe signs of mental illness. On the 7th of September, 1859, Norton sent a letter to the editors of several prominent San Franciscan newspapers, declaring,
"At the peremptory request of a large majority of the citizens of the United States, I, Joshua Norton, formerly of Algoa Bay, Cape of Good Hope, and now for the past 9 years and 10 months of San Francisco, California, declare and proclaim myself Emperor of these United States, and, in virtue of the authority thereby in me vested, do hereby order and direct the representatives of the different states of the Union to assemble in the musical hall of this city on the 1st day of February next, then and there to make sure such alterations in the existing laws of the Union as may ameliorate the evils under which the country is laboring, and thereby cause confidence to exist, both at home and abroad, in our stability and integrity."
Later, Norton extended his governmental duties to include Protector of Mexico. Norton also claimed to be a member of the Bourbon family, a royal French family. Over the years, Norton became a large and well-known figure throughout San Francisco. Notorious for walking around the streets with a military uniform, a hat, and a sword, Norton usually wore a Civil War uniform from either the Confederate or Union side. He would watch over public property, taking note if something needed repair, and would also inspect the police daily. Norton was known in San Francisco for giving philosophical lectures to those who were willing to listen in public. Despite his eccentric behavior and mental ailments, San Francisco was very welcoming to Emperor Norton. Theaters would allow Norton into plays for free, and when his coat would wear out, the city would provide him with a new one. Many stores would hang signs stating that Emperor Norton approved of their establishments. Some stores also accepted the currency Norton had established for his kingdom. He printed various bills, including one just worth 50 cents. Norton was seen as a man of the people, and spent most of his days riding a bicycle around town, conversing with townsfolk. Legend has it, as he rode his bicycle, local dogs would follow him, attracted to his magnificence. Although at times Norton was seen as a madman, he was a visionary in his own right. He called for a League of Nations to be founded, similar to the United Nations today. He also preached racial equality and had a diverse group of followers. At one anti-Chinese protest, Norton placed himself between the rioters and the innocent Chinese victims, refusing to move until the protesters dispersed. He was successful and no violence occurred. Throughout his 20-year reign as emperor, Norton issued many decrees. In one of his most iconic moments, Norton demanded a congressional session in a San Franciscan theater. Angered by the 100% absence of any congressional members, he declared that Congress be immediately abolished. In another famous incident, Norton made a decree stating that the word "Frisco" was now banned, and any citizens found guilty of uttering it were charged with a misdemeanor and a fine of $25. In his exact words,
after due and proper warning, shall be heard to utter the abominable word "Frisco," which has no linguistic or other warrant, shall be deemed guilty of a high misdemeanor, and shall pay into the imperial treasury, as penalty, the sum of $25.
Last night at 8:15, Joshua Norton, universally known and known almost only as Emperor Norton, died suddenly in this city. The similar death of the first citizen of San Francisco, or the highest municipal officer of the city, would not have caused so general a sensation as that of the harmless old man whose monomania never distorted at least a heart which was wholesome, and hardly affected a mind which had once been of the shrewdest, other than in the method of his sovereignty of the United States and Protectorate of Mexico.
from the San Francisco Chronicle marked the end of Norton's empire. In 1880, his sudden death plunged the city into darkness. The city paid for a proper funeral for him, despite his lack of wealth. His funeral was attended by over 30,000 people, more than 1/8 of San Francisco's population at that time.
This dedication shows the deep bond the people of San Francisco felt as a result of their encounter with Joshua Norton. Despite his delusions and odd behavior, the city embraced him, and few took advantage or made light of his ailments. Not only was he accepted by the people of California, Norton also left a lasting impact from his exchanges with the populace of San Francisco. It is rumored the character The King, from Mark Twain's ever-enduring novel The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, is based off Norton himself. In addition, the bridge Norton called for the construction of during his reign was eventually built, and many people still believe the bridge should be renamed the Emperor's Bridge. Although Norton had foolish and somewhat crazy ideas, he is an important historical figure in his time and will go down in the history books as California's most beloved emperor.